My name is Peter Fitch, and I am a graduate with a BA in Environmental Studies, and I am going to be talking with Duncan Soldner from Gourmet Growers, who has produced an indoor agriculture model that produces zero waste and can operate near urban areas.
My name is Duncan Soldner, S-O-L-D-N-E-R. I'm the president of Gourmet Growers. There's a multiplicity of ways where we can reduce resource demand, grow a product, be near an urban center, and end up being able to reduce our operating costs and deliver finished goods to an urban market at a lower overall cost, environmental cost, operating cost. The economy is a dollar and cents thing and an environmental impact. You need to think about the product from the first conception all the way through to the end. Where are you going to get your resources? Just because they're cheap from Korea or from India doesn't mean that's a good way to get your resources. There's someplace locally you get your resources because it's a lower impact to the overall economy. Think about how you can reduce your impact, because invariably if you can reduce your environmental impacts, you're going to increase your profits at some point. What are the other benefits? Are you close to your raw materials? Are you close to your customer base? Are you close to a job, a body of employee pools? Are you near an area where you can get some synergy from the community? Is it a redevelopment area? Can you build in let's say, an old industrial complex where you can help bring back some vitality to it? We have a successful model for mushroom farm, and it will be equally successful for other products. And it starts as a product or a process flow that starts at one end and moves all the way through to the finished goods end. And so there don't have to be redundant steps where you circle around and loop back on yourself and stumble over yourself. So we can take that footprint and move it to almost any place. By having a 9-acre roof, it's going to cover all our working surfaces. Any kind of agricultural activity has the potential to end up with a degraded rainwater runoff problem. So if we're going to be manipulating our planting material, moving it from place to place on hard surfaces, concrete surfaces, any of those surfaces that would be impacted by rainwater, the rainwater runoff would be considered contaminated waste. Well, with a big roof, we don't get that rainwater runoff. We can collect our wash water, recycle that, put it back into our product, then we have no wastewater discharge. By locating our facilities near to urban centers, because we solve all the environmental problems that farms normally have with our roof and our other systems, we'll be able to tap into the existing logistics that are out there. In the 70s, a Japanese researcher in Japan found that, gee, why do we have to wait about getting an actual wooden log, treating the wooden log, doing something with the wooden log? I mean, the log is so fibrous and so tough, and it just takes so long to grow mushrooms. Why don't we grind up the log? Why don't we make a presto log, essentially, a sawdust log, pack it all, fill it up with mushroom mold, and let it cook for a while. So after about 4 months, instead of several years, you get a harvestable log. So this is a compacted sawdust log, and you initiate it by taking what's a fairly dry log, weighs about 4 pounds when I get it, soaking it in water for 24 hours, putting it on one of these racks, and then managing the environment. So it's a trick of how much recirculated air, how much heat, how much cooling, how much fresh air, how much air you're allowed to develop. I've got a series of partners. I've got a business partner, Paul Masson. I've got 4 management partners who will be key managers who work in another mushroom farm right now. They will be the operating managers. So I have a network of things going on. I've got air conditioning contractors. I've got design contractors from Holland. Our compost is really a composted wheat straw base that has nutrients added to it from its composition. We're trying to conserve the nutrients. We're not trying to degrade the nutrients. We're trying to conserve the nutrients. mushrooms then grow on this moldy straw matrix, a substrate, and then grow the mushrooms, sell the substrate later as a compost downstream to somebody else. There's really two levels of what we're doing. We're taking this European American technology level and building a floor plan footprint of how we want the farm to operate. The materials processing, the harvesting, the operations, the sales all go in a certain footprint. This is a regional sort of project, so what we're targeting is a facility that will produce 150 to 170,000 pounds of mushrooms a week. That's the size of the facility, and that would be enough to be an impactor in the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California. I have a partner, Paul Masson. He's a business associate of mine. Met him 25 years ago with another mushroom project, MBA Wharton, and he's helped me put together the business aspect, the paperwork, the numbers, getting me from an operating standpoint. I understand the business, pretty comfortably. And then there's another level of business understanding that I didn't have, that I've been developing in concert with Paul. I have a network, a design team, a network team, both local, regional, and international, that help put this together. So I've gone through this once with them, built a farm, extremely successful. Delightedly, for me anyway, that farm is hitting its numbers exactly. So the numbers that we predicted in 2002 when the concept first came up is exactly what they're producing now. We've found two places that have everything we need, everything we desire. They're both sympathetic and supportive of the project. They've offered to make accommodations for planning and regulations for us, even offered to help finance through industrial revenue bonds, and all we need is investor money. So it's investor money is really the key element that's our block right now. You have to sort of build out these mushroom farms. They will have a long, long life. We're expecting a 30, 40, 50-year life to each of these facilities.